here's the thing. I'm not really here to convince you to, like, I don't know. I'm not really here to convince anybody of anything. What I really want to be able to do is just showcase what goes into the day-to-day. So I've got 23 days to film all this material, put together all the training videos. All right, well, I guess it's time to get this thing started. So let's document this. It's March 2nd, so I wanted to start this on March 1st, but that was a Sunday and I didn't have my camera. So it's March 2nd, and I am preparing for a major new, I guess you'd say, release or launch of a product for March 24th. I'll show you guys in a second, but on my board here, actually I'll just go ahead and show you now. I've got a sort of, I guess you could say, goal board of sorts. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this for you guys. Right there. Well, you can't see it, but yep, that's the one. So I got something set up there for my launch. It's actually just kind of an outline of what I want to be able to do on March 24th, which is release a new, kind of an updated version of my product, and do something that has a little bit more pomp and circumstance to it. And I wanted to document a little bit of that process, because I think far too often what ends up happening is the launch either goes smoothly and then everybody kind of is like, oh wow, what a cool thing, but doesn't really know what goes into it, or it doesn't go so smoothly and nobody ends up talking about it anyways. So I thought, what a kind of a different thing to do than, you know, why not document it a little bit. So a lot of these videos aren't going to be terribly long, and just kind of catch you guys up every day as we go through on what I'm actually trying to do that day. So I guess I'll walk you first through what this thing is actually gonna be, and then you guys can kind of see what my day-to-day is gonna look like along the way for that. So let's go ahead and talk about the lineup here. All right, so you guys can see it now. I've got this in focus. Essentially what we're gonna be doing is launching a new version of Chatmatic, which is my software, over a series of several days. And you can see I've actually already broken down a lot of the math here. You know, again, rounding numbers, $50,000 spent, hoping to get about 10,000 people to day one. If I can get 10,000 people to day one, I have day two, day three already outlined as far as what I'm going to be covering. And then I've got day four where we're going to be selling our product. I've got some percentages broken out, potential upgrades, which actually this thing right here is an upgrade. So I actually already have kind of what I'm going to be giving people, a physical box, which is really cool. It's a little different. And then you can see everything else that's going into this. And we've got our launch date, our sort of close date, and the actual closeout for it. And then over here, what I did was this behind me, right there, that is actually just an outline of what's going to be going into the product, like what people are going to get when they actually get the product, which I think is oftentimes overlooked when you're planning something ahead of time. This is just a smart thing to do, at least in my opinion. Write it out, show it every single day, so that every day I can see and be like, oh, okay, you know what? I can add this, or I can do that, or I can change this. So the idea for this launch, and I guess this is the best place to start, is I genuinely know that what I have to offer is going to help a lot of people. And I really, really, really do think that way. And I've seen people take the information that I have and that I've used to grow a business for myself, and I've seen them do really well. And so what I want to do across 4 days is educate people. So I've decided to take my best sort of training ideas, my best modules, and put them online for free. So essentially, think about it like getting a course, but you can take this course in 4 days, and at the end of the 4 days, you know everything that you would need to know in order to run this business. And the reason that I'm doing that, instead of selling a course, which of course there's a course, but there's obviously something else after this. So I wanted to explain a little bit about what I mean by that. Look, what I'm trying to do is educate people, because I think there's no better way to get somebody to want to buy your product than if they're educated on why they need it, and not to leave. You want to have some curiosity, but I don't think you want as much as what maybe, you know, tends to be the norm. And so what I want to do is I'm going to give them all the training that I can across 4 days. I recently had a live event here called Bots and Business Live.
Oh my God. This is the best event I've ever been to.
Within 3 months from now, I'll already have well into 10,000 more.
I took what I learned from Travis,
the determination of I need to make this work, and I closed and got a $2,000 client before I even came out here.
I've been to some events and paid more and was left there and was like, man, this was a waste of time and a waste of money. We're here, I have a plan, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. So it was very informative, action-oriented.
I felt as if the world has opened.
And at that event, I covered a bunch of material in 2 days, and I saw a transformation in people's eyes, and I thought, I can take some of that information, package it into 4 days, and actually give that to everybody and hope that they have the same transformation, because the logical next step after you know, for instance, this launch is gonna be called the Automated Marketing Agency for 2020, how you can start an automated marketing agency this year and within about 30 days. The core principle of all of this is gonna be broken down inside of these 4 days instead of waiting until you get the product, because my theory behind this, and this has worked for me in the past, so hopefully it does well again, my theory for all of this is if you know that something can be done, and then on day 4 of this, you'll see how you can automate the entire process. Now, on days 1, 2, and 3, you'll have all the information that you need to give it a go if you wanted to, but you won't have the software that you need to actually pull all this off. And I own a software company that allows you to pull all this off. And so really, it's a pretty powerful angle that I'm taking. Instead of putting you on a webinar and hoping that in an hour I can explain everything that you need to know, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break it into about 4 hours worth of content, maybe even a little bit more. So the first day typically is an hour, hour and 10, just to kind of explain what's going on and all that stuff. And then day 2, we're gonna be talking about, we're gonna be showing examples. And in fact, this is another thing that I did to kind of prep for this is I've written out exactly what I wanna cover in every single day. So day 1, I've got an outline. Day 2, I've got an outline. But what's also really important, day 3 and 4, and then you can see actually I've already gone ahead and listed out the product information, and I also went ahead and listed out some of the diagrams that I wanna cover to explain some of the key pieces of what I'm actually gonna be teaching in this event. You can see this is a little, ready? This is a cool one. Got a little funnel here, cool. So again, my goal for this is everybody's gonna be able to go through these 4 days completely for free with zero cost right there. Go through, learn the material. Because if my software is as good as I think it is, and our users have said that it is, and the results that they've gotten kind of prove that, but if it's as good as it all should be, then why not give all this information away and then create a step-by-step guided course to actually get you from start to finish. And that's what this last page of this actually is. One of the things that I'm gonna be doing is reshooting what I would call a 12-day agency starter kit. And it's, you go through 12 different days, do 1 task a day, and I actually put stars next to the days where I'm gonna be telling people when to actually take action. You guys can see that. The rest of the days are just learning material, because I think you should learn, execute, learn, execute. And then once you get to the 12 days, then it's all about execution. So I think it'll be kind of cool. And then I'm also gonna be putting together a Facebook ad kind of core competency training program as well to teach people more about Facebook, because the whole mission behind all of this is I am really hooked on this idea that if you wanna be able to get paid doing something, it's gonna require a couple things from you. Number 1, it's gonna require the confidence that you can do it. And I think confidence comes from knowledge. It's a lot like, you hear people talking about fear. You cannot have fear where you have education. So if you know something, you can't be afraid, right? Like, oh, why are we afraid of the dark? Well, because we don't know what's in dark rooms. Why are we afraid of jumping out of an airplane? Well, because we don't know if our parachute's gonna open. If somebody said, I know for a fact 100% your parachute's gonna open, people wouldn't be as afraid of jumping out of an airplane. Or, you know, I know for 100% for a fact nobody can get in this room. It can be dark and you're not gonna be that afraid. It's the idea of starting a business with that same principle. How do I help you or anybody else remove that fear? And I've seen people when they go through this program and they execute on the things that I talk about, I've seen the fear melt away. And I've seen it in live events, and I've seen it also in my training program where, you know, the fear melts away because the knowledge is there. And so what I want to do across these 4 days is educate people on everything they would need to know in order to start this business for themselves, regardless of where they're starting at. Are you a 4th grade, teacher, and you've been a teacher for 20 years? Maybe you're a construction worker. Maybe you're a truck driver. We've had people with all different backgrounds use this for success. And what I think is amazing is there's people out there, potentially you, watching this video thinking, I make $2,500 a month. I make $3,500 a month. And I know for a fact one single client can make you $2,500 a month, $3,500 a month, $5,000 a month. My number one client, well, the best month I ever had from one single client was $8,800. One client paid me $8,800. Pretty amazing. Here's the thing. I'm not really here to convince you to, like, I don't know. I'm not really here to convince anybody of anything. What I really want to be able to do is just showcase what goes into the day-to-day. So I've got 23 days to film all this material, put together all the training videos. The good news is the product is already done. So Chatmatic is done. The training for Chatmatic is done. Everything that you would need to be able to have success is already in there. I've just got to take a few more steps on the front end side, so the marketing angles. Got to create ads, got to get my ad system kind of in place so that I can run this, because I'm not really pushing this hard to any kind of like joint venture partners. I will allow people to promote this, but I'm not going to be chasing it. So that's going to be a little bit different than what you would normally expect from a big launch. This isn't like I'm rallying up the troops to promote my stuff. This is all going to be internal. So it'll be very interesting. And then after that, we've got some really cool stuff coming down the pipeline as well after the initial launch. So just wanted to take you guys behind the scenes, show you guys what's going on. So this is day one. Today I'm going to be working a little bit more on outlining some of the material, putting the foundation together for a lot of this. Might film a couple of my Facebook ad core competency training videos. Might film some of my 12-day agency training. So we'll find out as we go through this day to day. You'll see what we're actually adding in, what I'm filming, what I'm not, and kind of what goes into this whole process. So hopefully 20-ish or less days from now, this is all done. I will be having probably a videographer come in and help me get some videos filmed for the 4-day sequence. And yeah, so we'll kind of go over all of that as we keep making progress. So hopefully you guys join. Feel free to share this with somebody. Make sure you guys subscribe, because that's going to be the best way and the only way that you'll be able to get all of these videos in sequence. I'm hoping to be able to release one a day. It's going to be a lot of work releasing these videos and building this launch, but I really honestly want you guys to see that when you put the work in, and I've been working on this product for a long time, you can do a lot and you can accomplish a lot. So hopefully it just motivates one person to do something like this. But make sure you guys subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.